So, if you haven't heard, the Supreme Court just ruled that we can't have student loan forgiveness. I mean, this sucks, but this is the reality. They do not care about us at all. We are second class citizens, like all of us. There's the ruling elite, and then there's the rest of us. I'm not sure if you all are paying attention to what's happening in France, but it's time for us to rise up. It's time for us to take to the streets. We've done it before. We can do it again. Do not pay your student loans.
Okay, so student loan debt is still looming over the heads of millions of Americans. Joe Biden's attempt to erase thousands, tens of thousands of dollars from about 43 million people's student loan debt failed, epically failed. And I knew it was going to fail. The moment he declared that he was going to do this, I said, that's unconstitutional. So all of these people you're going to celebrate for about a year or so, and then when it gets to the Supreme Court, it's going to get struck down and you're going to be disappointed because you guys just don't understand how this crap works. Joe Biden, if he wasn't so senile, he'd understand. The people immediately around him, they're a bunch of dumbasses, so they don't know. But the Secretary of Education, they know that this was unconstitutional. Many other people in the government, on the Democrat side, they knew that it couldn't happen. That's why it wasn't done before. But this was just a symbolic gesture from Joe Biden to try to say, hey, look, I promised I was going to do something about student loan debt. I promised you I was going to forgive the debt. So I tried. But they didn't try. The Biden administration pushed this gesture because they're feeding off of people's ignorance. And now people are upset. People are pissed off because they're trying to advocate responsibility of their debt, the things that they signed up for. They want other taxpayers pay for it. Let's take a look at some of the bitches and whiners.
We were told our entire lives that this was basically the way to go. This was an inevitability. You are going to go into debt, but it'll pay off in the end. But
when we were young, we were told that college was the golden ticket to having financial freedom for the rest of your life. We were told this by our teachers, by our parents.
We were told. They said this, they said that. It's such an easy cop-out, such an easy way to advocate responsibility. It's not my fault. Yeah, I signed up for tens of thousands of dollars in student loans. Yeah, I went to Starbucks while I was on campus with student loan money. Yeah, I went to all these restaurants and I went to these parties and I was living off of and spending student loan money. Yes, I was at school, not working, going to class full time, but I was living as if I was making $40,000, $50,000 a year because I was burning student loan money. Yes, maybe I went to Cancun or some other vacation, even went back home to visit my parents using student loan money. But it's not my fault. They said, whoever they are, they said that everything would be okay. All I had to do was just go to school. It didn't matter what degree I had. It didn't matter if I went to a high price school. All I had to do was do what they said. But now you're paying the price. You need to learn to accept responsibility. And this whole we were told thing, I'm a millennial, so this whole we were told thing is a lie. College was always presented as an option. We were presented with many options. We were presented with military, we were presented with trades, we were presented with college. But most of these people, they definitely rejected the military, especially when the millennials were coming of age because we were in Afghanistan and Iraq and all that. A lot of people, millions did join the military, but way more say hell no. On top of that, these trades, using common sense and reason, and also some of the information that was presented to us, we saw that there were many opportunities to learn a skilled trade that will pay off in the long run. We had opportunities to be plumbers, electricians, building inspectors, truck drivers, and I know many guys who took those routes, but most of the people said, that shit ain't cool. Why the hell I want to be a plumber? That job is for a loser. So most of these millennials, they said, no, these jobs ain't cool enough for us. I'd rather take $50,000 in debt, $100,000 in debt than be an electrician. Why the hell would I want a trash ass job like that? How am I going on a date with a girl and tell I'm a plumber? Because the girl's going to say I'm a loser. So I need some type of high salary office job where I can wear a suit and I can floss in my Mercedes and do all of this because this is what they aim for. And they went to all these expensive schools. Also, community college. There were other trades like radiation therapy, respiratory therapy, dental hygiene, stuff like that. You can get these degrees and certificates at community college. And people were saying, why the hell would I want community college? I don't want a degree. from a community college with my name on it? Hell no. And a lot of these people didn't even want to go to state universities. They had to have some type of big name private university on there because they think, oh, if I have this university on my resume, it's going to boost my salary. No, what you're doing is sinking yourself deeper and deeper into debt. And let's look at something else. These people, these 47 million people, they want the taxpayers to pay off their debt. Most people don't go to college. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, only about 20-some% of the population have a bachelor's degree. And many of those have paid off their loans. So there's an even smaller percentage of the people who are actually advocating for debt forgiveness. So these people, on average, earn more money than the average taxpayer, but they want these taxpayers to pay out their debt. A college graduate, on average, earns $52,000 a year. Non-college graduate earns about $30,000. So that difference, that means non-college graduates are averaging nationwide about $14 an hour. College graduates are about $25 an hour. So you have a college degree, you took on these debt by choice, you spent the money however you spent it, and you're making on average $25 an hour. But you're going to these people who make $14 an hour. You make $11 an hour more than these people, but you want them to collectively pay off your loans. Why the hell would somebody want to pay for your Starbucks that you took out on a loan 10 years ago? That's on you. You made this choice to overspend, to go to these expensive colleges, and to not do your research and do all of that, and possibly get some degree that wasn't worth the debt that you took out on it. A lot of the salaries for these jobs just aren't worth the degree. So you should have done your research. When you were 18, when you were young, as y'all saying, you had many opportunities. You had opportunities to research. You had opportunities to go into a trade. You had an opportunity to take other pathways, to get some type of funding for school, to go to a cheaper school, to take another degree path. You had many opportunities. But these people make bad decisions. And some of them, maybe they've made good decisions. Maybe they have even higher salaries than average, but they just don't want to pay it. But now you guys are demanding that the taxpayers, which most of them aren't earning your salary, you're demanding that these taxpayers pay off your loan. That's some of the most deadbeat shit I've ever seen. So I'm going to leave you with this clip.
The thing I'm angry about with student loan forgiveness is not people getting help. That's not it at all. It's the precedent that it sets, that I can just go into debt because someone will forgive it down the line and it's not my problem anymore. And we've lost all accountability and responsibility as a society because we've decided to go, you know what, I'm going to outsource all my problems. Hey, it's not my problem. You guys made me in debt. No, you signed on the dotted line.
Do you remember that one night when we fell in love? What we had felt so right, 'cause we had trust. I wish